Well, I really can't do that, you know. I mean, that's not how clerkships work. But, well, what I could do maybe is during the 2 weeks, you know, between assignments, if I get them, that maybe you can talk to Justin and we can set something up there. Morgan, I mean, I think we should...
I wanted to talk to you about those 2 weeks. I spoke to Amanda today, and you know how she said she wanted to get us a really nice wedding present?
Yeah?
Well, she'd like to send us away maybe, someplace warm during the winter.
Now, wait a minute. Did she suggest that, or did you?
Well...
Come on.
She jumped at the
All right.
When I said it, she liked it. You're not mad, are you?
Oh, how can I be mad? You're being so honest.
I think you better go take your shower now.
Oh, I was thinking about postponing that for a while. What do you think?
Listen, Ma, I don't want to hear it. If Nola's making up more stories about Mr. McCord, I'll bet she does lose the job this time, and I don't care.
Listen, that's the way I reacted when I first heard, but then when Mrs. Renfield came in and told us that Mr. McCord had packed up and left while we were sitting there having lunch, I thought that was a little strange.
Yeah, well, strange, maybe, but, you know, that doesn't make him some kind of maniac that runs around the world hatching plots against pregnant girls, does it?
Maybe not, but I think it was peculiar.
I'll tell you something, Ma. The whole world's peculiar. I've been running into a lot of people since I started working here, and there's screwballs loose all over the place. I think Nola's lucky to be working for a gentleman like Mr. McCord, and if there's a screwball loose in that house, it's not her boss.
I guess you're right. I'm probably overreacting. I've been spending too much time with Nola.
How you doing, Floyd?
Hi, honey.
Well, Bea, we sure missed you around dinner at the boarding house. Mrs. Peterson and Mr. Fancher got into another one of their big arguments about how long the roast is supposed to be in the oven. So Mr. Fancher got so upset that he locked himself in the bathroom again.
Oh! Oh, honey, listen, I think maybe I'd better go home and see if I still have a kitchen, if I still have a house around the kitchen.
Well, I've got to go change. Get ready for my first set.
Oh, you sound so professional.
Yeah.
Why don't you stick around for a while? I know you'd like to hear Floyd sing, right?
Yeah.
Listen, I can't get you a table in the other room, but I can swing one in here for you easy enough. I tell you what, you can sit with Katie over there because I never have, and I'm always too busy to sit down with her. Come on.
Come on.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm turning into a real lady of leisure. I mean, I have lunch at Thornway Road, and I have dinner at the Hideout.
Why
Did
not?
you see Nola today? How is she?
She's fine, honey. And I wish you could stop worrying about her.
Yeah, I wish I could, too. Well, I got to go get ready. See ya.
Take care, Floyd.
Hi, Floyd.
Hi.
I hope
Floyd.
you're in good voice tonight. I've persuaded the chief of staff of Cedars to come and have dinner with me, and I promised him some top-notch entertainment.
Well, I'll do my best. Have you heard any news about Mike, Bert, or Hope?
No. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, well, I hope you hear something real soon. I've got to go.
All right.
That's just what I didn't want anybody to ask you about. I was hoping you could have one evening where you didn't have to think about all that.
Well, it's not going to happen. Besides, from the way you sounded on the phone earlier, you could use a little diversion yourself.
That's for sure. The office was a madhouse today with Amanda and her memos and Carrie Todd playing Pollyanna.
I promise that I won't talk about my problems if you don't talk about yours.
You got a deal.
All right.
I'm going to go talk to them.
Yeah.
Tony?
Hi, Miss
Excuse
Chamberlain.
me.
How you doing?
Is Trish still in the office?
No, it's just me holding down the fort right now, and Josh is on his way. He'll be here to help out in a little while.
What happened to Trish?
Well, she had... see, she had a friend here for lunch today who had a few too many. Trish had to drive her home, and I haven't seen her since.
Well, that's odd. When you called, you said that she was having lunch with Jackie Marler.
Yeah, that's her, but, well, I didn't want to say anything because she was in pretty bad shape, you know?
That's right. You know, Justin was called home early from the hospital today. I hope everything's all right. Look, I better give their house a call, all right?
All right,
I'll be
but
right
that should
back.
be gone. He worries about absolutely everybody.
Well, I think that's wonderful, especially considering all the problems he's got with his own family. Honey, I wish you'd take the bedroom tonight because I'd be just fine in here.
Oh, no, Grandma. I'd be tossing and turning all night, and I'd keep up little Alan Michael. I feel much better that you're in there. And besides, I'm very happy he's sleeping in the same room with you. I've been frightened to put him back in the nursery ever since that man walked around our house.
Sweetheart, just don't think about that because it won't make sleeping any easier. Now, I want you to get right into bed because I know you're exhausted.
Grandma, I'm not even sleepy.
It doesn't matter. It's midnight. And I want you to get to bed and go to sleep.
All right.
Come on.
All right.
Oh. You know what this reminds you of me of tucking you in when you were a little girl.
I'm not a little girl anymore.
No, I know, dear.
Good night, Grandma. And Grandma, thank you so much for being here. I don't know how I'd get through this without you.
Honey, I just want you to go to sleep now. Good night, darling.
Good night.
I don't ever want you to forget that I love you more than life itself.
Sweetheart, I know that. You've done everything in the world you could to prove it to me.
May I hold our son once more before I leave?
Look at it.
I always want to remember you this way. The two people I love most in the world. Goodbye, darling.
You take care of yourself. I'm so glad to see you. How are you? Where's Alan? Is everything all right?
That's exactly why I'm here.
Well, I don't understand. My grandmother told me that my father said you'd gone to meet Alan at some rendezvous point.
How did your father know that?
Well, he found a map in the cottage, and he thought it was circling a place where you're supposed to meet Alan.
He was right. He was right. It was. I left that copy in the cottage after I rushed out of here in such a panic after seeing your father. All I could think of was to get in the helicopter and get away as fast as possible. I was afraid he'd catch me and arrest me as an accomplice and force me to tell him where I was going to meet Alan.
Wait, I don't understand. Does this mean you haven't seen Alan yet?
I was supposed to pick him up, or have him picked up, today before sundown. Now, I arranged for another pilot to fly to the rendezvous spot, but Alan wasn't there. Now, don't be too concerned, because I probably underestimated the time he needed to arrive there. But when the copter pilot came back without him, all I could think was that maybe he came back here for you, had somehow evaded your father, and was here waiting, hoping I'd come back for him.
No, Wayne, he hasn't come back here.
You know, he had terrible misgivings about leaving you all here, and I thought maybe he had given up on his other plan and come back.
Wayne, Alan's been out there for 3 days and 3 nights. Do you think he's all right?
I can't answer that, Mrs. Spaulding. All I know is I was supposed to meet him in a very desolate area of Tenerife.
Wayne, you've got to go back there right away and find him. My grandmother's here, so Alan, Michael, and I will be just fine. And Wayne, the police have been combing the island for you. Where have you been for the last 3 days?
The day I left here, I flew straight to another one of the Canary Islands. I stayed there undercover until it was time to make arrangements to have Mr. Spaulding picked up today.
Well, all right. Well, you've got to go back and try and find Alan. And please try and find my father, too. He's out there chasing after him.
Do the police know where your father is?
No. My father made a copy of the map that you had left, and he sent one of his drivers down to the Orotava police to give it to them. But they came up and told us that he had been beaten up and the map had been stolen, so they have no idea where to start looking for him. Wayne, I didn't hear a car drive up, and I certainly didn't hear a helicopter land. How'd you get here?
Well, I knew the police would be looking for a helicopter, so I flew in after dark and flew over the unpopulated areas of the island. I set her down about 6 or 7 miles down the back mountain road, and I hiked up here.
Well, look, you must be tired and hungry. I'll make you something to eat, and why don't you sleep in the guest car?
No, thank you. I don't have time for that now. Now that I know Alan didn't come back here, he must still be out there somewhere. I've got to find him.
Yes, and Wayne, please try and find my father, too.
If I find him, that means certain arrest for Alan.
I know he isn't guilty of the murder they want to question him about, but I think Alan feels that if he goes back before the real murderer is found, that he'll be convicted simply because he's Alan Spaulding.
I'll do everything I can to find your husband, Mrs. Spaulding, even though the helicopter I'm flying can't make it to the altitude where I'm supposed to meet him. But when I do find him, I will call the Oratava police and I'll have them...
I think my grandmother's up.
Oh, I thought I heard voices out here. Oh, honey, you're gonna get your death of cold standing here in this draft.
Kelly! Hi. I haven't seen you so put together in a long time.
What?
I
This?
didn't even know you owned a vest.
Yeah, it's an old one from California. I wore it so I could show off my new antique pocket watch.
I'm glad you like it.
Oh, like it? I told you the night of my birthday. It's the most special present anyone ever gave me.
Good.
Oh, man, look at you. I'm gonna feel like a bum sitting next to you.
Are you kidding?
No.
I just thought I'd dress up a little for the occasion.
Oh, good.
I wish you were singing tonight.
No, no, thank you. I'd much rather just sit next to you and feel very proud.
And we can also discuss vacation plans.
Oh, Morgan, you know, you are like a puppy with a bone when you get a thought in that head. I told you. I'm going to have to do a lot of studying those 2 weeks to be sure I'm up on everything.
But you can study on the beach.
No, I can't.
Why not?
Because I have seen you in a bathing suit, Mrs. Nelson, and you can be very distracting.
Well, that's good. I thought you might be tired of me by this time.
What? Not in a million years. You're better than that.
I guess not. But, I'd still really like to go.
And I would really like to have time to discuss this with you later, but we had better get on over to the hideout and catch Floyd's first set. Because his second set is too late. Were you coming?
Aren't you forgetting something?
Something I very seldom ever forget, too.
I didn't mean that. Well, you went through all the trouble to put your vest on. Where's your watch?
Oh, my God, I can't believe I forgot it. It's right over here.
Did you ever find out who gave you that beautiful medallion?
No, I never did.
Strange how someone would give that to you with no card. But
Yeah.
It's beautiful on the chain.
Well, someone who went to all the trouble to engrave it and everything is bound to say something sooner or later.